you know, I actually got to taxi the C-130 for real.
Ooh.
Like for real, and at the Albuquerque airport. We were rehearsing for it and we would talk about it a lot. And the pilots at first, they weren't sure if they would let me. And then after a day of doing things and learning, they gave an okay. They said to Vince, I think she can do it.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Carolina, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you, John?
Good, good. All right. So, Pirate Lady, episode 2. Um, the beginning, the arc. Your character is like in another country, and then going all the way to New Mexico. So, I guess I don't know. Like when you read the script, how does that even go about? Like in your brains, like trying to wrap this up.
I mean, well, I mean, when I first read it, you go, wait, what is happening? It's like it's so mind blowing, and it's so exciting because I haven't read anything like this for TV. I have not. The character, the world that he created, all these things. There's some, there's like invasion of body snatchers. There's certain things like that, but this has never been created. And so reading that was really exciting. And then my character, I mean, it was definitely enthralling to read it and scary to even knowing where to begin to tackle such a big idea. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And so when I met with Vince, I had so many questions um, of who these people are, how to break it down, and his vision for it and what he had in mind for it. So these are like that's where it all started with having these conversations, then piecing little things, and it would take piece by piece by piece by piece to putting it all together and to make it work into, and still wondering, we're shooting, sometimes the thing will come up, is this gonna work, is this working, what I'm doing, is it working? And what's brilliant about Vince is because he's such a visionary, and he's such incredible storytelling, that at times he would push me. And when I watch episode 1 and 2, and 2 when I come in, the humor, there's so much humor in it because of the two opposing characters with their own beliefs, that creates such great humor.
yeah. And I'm like, okay, when I'm watching this, I'm like, what would I do in this situation? Like, someone I love and care about, would I still be able to just interact with them? And like, let's say it's like someone you really love. Like, do you trust that person with the whole world? Like, like inside them, and yeah,
The wild thing is, because obviously we've had all those conversations on set, right?
yeah,
Because in between takes, we would just always dissect all these ideas and be like, who would you be? How would you react? What does this mean? What is it? Would you want the world to be like that? But then you give up individual. You have to give up individuality. Like, there's just so many. And then what about innocence? What about this? What about not being surprised? What about So there's just so many conversations that it starts so many conversations, and. Where was I going with this? I forgot your question. I know I was
it's
going somewhere with
it's
that. I had a
craziness.
point. Craziness, yeah. It's craziness. But what did you ask me? Because I was going to make a point on that.
Oh,
What did
just
you
like,
ask?
would you like how would you react?
Oh, if a loved one, right? If a loved one, right. This is the wild thing. I don't think you would, because they would act like themselves, but not really. Like they're themselves, but they're just content and happy. I don't think you would be sitting there at first, probably going, you have the whole world in your head. I think that I think that's such an overwhelming idea to be sitting with someone that has that. I think will come out eventually, and I don't know that I don't know how I would feel.
And there's no privacy too, because whatever you talk or say to the person, everyone knows.
What that, but also, they can perform open heart surgery.
That's
They can
true.
fly. They can. I can be like, hey, I need to get to Munich, and they're like, sure. Like I'll fly the plane. You're like, wait a second, what? They can perform any task, and they're the best of the best at it. That's a wild concept, and that it lives in their muscle memory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was something that we talked about a lot because the scene and the scene the opening scene, obviously in two, as you mentioned, you know I actually got to taxi the C-130 for real,
Ooh.
like for real, and at the Albuquerque airport. We were rehearsing for it, and we would talk about it a lot. And the pilots at first, they weren't sure if they would let me. And then after a day of doing things and learning, they gave an okay. They said to Vince, I think she can do it. And it's this wheel, this tiny wheel that taxis the plane, which is so surreal. You have this massive machinery, and this little thing is what taxis the plane with like brakes. It's wild.
It's crazy.
I didn't know that. So, but I got to do that, which was truly like, I mean, bucket list check. And so working with that, knowing like, okay, so when I get on the plane, how would I behave? How would you don't like normally be looking things up on Google, trying to figure out how to do things. These people don't. They're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
they just go, and they're the best at it. The best pilots, they know their plane inside out. They perform surgery. They're the best of the best. So that was a fascinating conversation to have.
That's great.
And
Yeah.
rehearsing for that was a lot of fun.
But yeah, that's all the time I have. But I can't wait for everyone
Got
else
it.
to check out the episode and have their minds blown.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
All right. Take care. It's a pleasure chatting with you.
Take care.